Hello, beautiful friends from around the world, my witchy friends. Welcome back to my channel, Clarity with Carolee. I'm Carolee, and I help to bring you clarity through life's toughest challenges for anybody who's new here. Today is a special day, and I wanted to do a quick 5-10 minute reading for all of you. Your witch's I just have to laugh at it. Your witch's revenge. Now, not to be, all dark and in our darkness, right? But us witches and spiritualists and, people that have been connected to the earthly realms, to alchemy, to spirituality, to the universal, or to the universe, to God, right? We've been condemned throughout history. And that has prevented a lot of us from accepting our gifts and going after our dreams and pursuing a life in alchemy or the esoteric arts or whatever, right? It's been hard for us, and we carry a lot of those wounds forward. And it's interesting, this morning, I was going to tell you the story quickly. I very rarely ask Alexa, this day in history. Oh, is she going to talk? Okay. I very rarely ask her about what happened in this day in history. But today I just happened to with my daughter this morning, and we were laughing and just sort of joking around with her, with the, Alexa. And so I asked this morning, and it's so funny that today in history, March 1st, in 1692, the Salem witch trials started. And on Google, if you Google it, like March 1st in history, it says Salem, Massachusetts, I think that's how you say it, authorities interrogated Sarah Good, Sarah Osborne, and Indian slave Tituba to determine if they indeed practiced witchcraft, and so began the infamous witch trials of 1692 in Salem. So amazing, right? That a tarot reader who doesn't really do that, I mean, this is how the universe, directs you. And I was excited, and I thought, hey, let's talk about our witchy revenge. What is it that in this lifetime as a witch, possibly who was imprisoned and burned at the stake in Salem and throughout the world, what is your revenge right now in this life? Or how can you get your revenge? Or how can you create balance in your soul? Or how can you alleviate the pain from the past of that lifetime in this lifetime so that you can finally take hold of your power and really claim that power and pursue that power and let it shine into the world and do the good that it was actually meant to do. So let's take a look at that. We have 3 different piles to choose from, and again, I really want to try to make these just short and sweet and for fun mostly. So your witchy revenge, what is it? How do you accomplish it? What are you meant to be doing? And how can you alleviate the pain from that past life, from being burned at the stake, from the pain and the shame of being called out as this evil energy source when you were actually just trying to do some good. So let's look here. We have pile number 1, the wizard, number 15, rune king, wise one, counselor. Pile number 2, soul kin, number 16, recognition, family, kinship. And pile number 3, we have number 9, the wild hunt, excitement, frenzy, journey. Ooh, I'm excited. Okay, take a moment, choose the pile, the picture, the card that resonates with you the most, and then go to the description box and click on the timestamp next to the pile that you chose. All right, I'll see you in your reading. Okay, pile number 1, number 15, the wizard. So number 15 could be important to you. The number 6 even. I don't know why. I haven't really been talking about the numbers in other readings recently, but something happened to you when you were 15, 16. Yeah, in that life. So what is your witchy revenge? Wow, you were tortured really young. I mean, that at that time, in the 1600s, 1700s, being 16, you were pretty much a woman. That wasn't all that young back then, but It's young for our time. So you were tortured, I'm gonna say, very young. You have a very powerful, strong gift. You are very wise. You might find that ever since you were young or even a teenager, people sought you out, sought your advice out. You are a natural born leader, a natural counselor. Maybe I see they're showing me, being on a bus and someone just randomly sitting next to you and talking to you about their life and their life problems and getting your advice. And it's so random. You might find that happens to you a lot. Random people seeking you out for advice, talking on the street, people unloading their issues onto you. That's because you are this wizard. You are a natural born leader. You're very wise. And that's because you've lived for so long. You are so ancient, so old. Like, look at this picture. Look how ancient this figure is, the wizard. Wow, the Rune King, like just the beginning of time. It's like your soul was alive at the beginning of time. There's something about your eyes too. They're showing me very vampiric eyes. My daughter has these kinds of eyes where they're so deep and they're so strong, and they can see through the facade very easily. Like years, like people can look into your eyes and just see the centuries that I want to say billions of years. Like you've been around since the beginning of time. You were extremely wise. And I almost have to laugh because it's almost like your witchy revenge in this life is to be the coach or the leader of leaders and get back at them by overpowering them. You could find that this manifests as a need to, and maybe workaholism. I'm not gonna lie, I think that I do see some of that for some of you, that gravitation towards power and control and domination because you were dominated in this life. So your witchy revenge in this life is to be the most powerful in your whatever circle, community, circle of influence, company, in your industry. And it's this driving force within you. Like you just don't ever want to be caught off guard, captured. I don't know, they're saying downgraded. Yeah, it's almost as if your spiritual gifts for a really long time have been downgraded because of this because of this experience that you had, and now you don't ever want to go through that again. You really want to let your power shine, but there's a cloaking it in a way. And not that you don't know your power, because I think that you really do know your power, but I think that you hide behind a veil of secrecy. There's a little bit of mischievousness here, maybe a little bit of intentional manipulation. They're showing me like a woman using her wiles kind of energy, right? To get the better of other people with intention, because you see the darkness in other people. I think that you even see the darkness in yourself. It might scare you a little bit. And I don't think you mean to let it loose, but because of what you went through during the Salem witch trial era, you just don't have any faith in other people or trust other people. And so you've sort of learned to cloak your powers so that you can circumvent authority, Spirit is saying. Okay, so I did shuffle and then these cards came out. 5 of Arrows. I haven't used this deck in a while. 5 of Arrows. The Wildwood Tarot. Which is swords. So 5 of Swords, 5 of Arrows, 4 of Arrows, 4 of Swords, 9 of Bows, so 9 of Wands. Whew. Wow. I feel this energy of like needing to get the better of other people before they get the best of you. That's the energy that I'm feeling. And then we have the 3 of Stones, 3 of Pentacles, creativity. No, they want me to put this here. Yeah, I don't know. There's like this energy of get them before they get you. that's kind of like your witchy revenge, this thing that drives you that you might not be completely aware of or understand, but it's this need to dominate others before they can hurt you, before they can dominate you. And you might not know where this comes from. I see for some of you, it's not like you had a wounded childhood, and maybe a little bit, or if you did, it's, but I do, and not to take away that if you did, but I feel like the majority of this pile have this driving force, this very competitive nature, but not necessarily understanding where it comes from, because maybe you grew up and your family wasn't like this, or you know, you had a pretty loving, solid childhood, but you just have this like need to be first or be right. I don't know about being, just be first, but to be first to the punchline, be first to the finish line, so that other people can't get the best of you. It's like, and they're also telling me racing against time. I don't know if that means anything for you, but there's this drive to need to be first to the goal. Okay, what else, Spirit? Anything else? Yeah, the only thing is that I feel like Spirits, there's a bit of a warning with the 9 of bows, so the 9 of wands and the 4 of arrows here, which is like, you have to be careful about not burning yourself out. How can you use that energy that you have? Look at this mountain goat just like jumping. How can you use that energy that you have? It's almost like it's like you're the mountain goat and you don't want to be a sitting target, so you're just moving all over the place, but it's kind of exhausting you at the same time. So how can you be more methodical with the 3 of stones, 3 of pentacles in your back pocket? How can you be more methodical with your approach to this, right? How can you be more purposeful in your journey? So you're not wasting your energy trying to compete with these people, this perception of threat. And it could be very real threat, but how can you be smarter? How can you work smarter, not harder? Eight of Vessels, rebirth. So that's like the 8 of Cups. Yeah, you need to walk away from this competition. 14, Temperance with Balance at the bottom of the deck right now. There's a need to stop seeking validation from others. Stop seeking validation from others and start looking for validation within. Just, you know, there's no need to compete because there is no competition, Spirit's saying, because you're this wizard. Like, you are the ultimate in like spiritual leadership, or just leadership in general. Very wise, you're a counselor, you're the leader of the leaders. You don't even need to compete because there is no competition. So you're wasting your energy trying to compete, trying to like, you know, deke people out, but you're just wasting your energy. You're just trying to deke people out, like playing dodgeball, like, where am I going? Where am I going? But like, you're so fast, you're like faster than the speed of light that they can't even see you anyways. So you're just doing that for no reason, because you're so far ahead. And so just get rid of get rid of that. There's no need for it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So then we have, just stop that. So we have the 10 of arrows. I'm just gonna lay this over top. 10 of arrows to the 10 of wands with instruction. 3 of arrows. Oh no, sorry. 10 of swords. Yeah, I get confused. Okay, 10 of arrows is the 10 of swords with instruction. 3 of arrows, 3 of swords, jealousy. And then we have the 21, the world completion, the world tree, you know, full circle moment. You have already surpassed your accusers from that other life. Don't even worry about it. You know they betrayed you, you know they hurt you, you know you're better than them today, so don't even waste your energy on them. You have far better things to be doing with your time and energy. You know that, and you're just wasting precious energy trying to like deke people out, trying to get the better of other people before they get the best of you. It's not necessary at this point. So You're just accept. I think there's this notion of needing to accept that you are the wise one, that you are this wizard, you are the leader of the leaders. So just accept that role and stop wasting your energy on people who don't matter, and souls energies that don't matter anymore. They can't hurt you like they hurt you back then. Spirit is saying we're in a new age, literally a new age. We're in a new age. Okay. Sending you love, pile number 1. If you like this reading, give it a thumbs up, comment below. Also look for, I'm doing a 50% off my reading sale in Etsy, on my Etsy shop. So the link to get that is below until March 9th, 2023. And then I also have a $10 Canadian CAD micro reading offer that's posted on my Facebook page. So the link to look at those details is in the description box as well. Sending you love. Talk to you soon, my witchy witch friends. All right, pile number 2. You chose soul kin number 16, recognition, family, kinship. There's a couple of different ways this could go. I'm seeing here that you were deceived by your family. It's almost as if during the Salem witch trials, or in the 1900s, 17th century era, you were deceived by your family. I'm seeing, they're showing me somebody fleeing their family home and search for shelter. And I think that maybe even you found, they're saying like hobbits. So maybe you found families or communities or tribes in the forest areas that really took you in. Hold on. Yeah. So they're showing me that here. We have the 4 of stones, 4 of pentacles. And this little deer or doe, or what's it, fawn, I guess, is like seeking shelter away from the village, or away from these trees over here. It's kind of like the village is over there, seeking shelter away from over there. Then we have the page of arrows. So it's the page of swords. This is like seeking refuge from ridicule, from oppression almost, with the 7 of, well, the 7, sorry, the archer. So it's also the chariot energy here, Cancer energy. It's like seeking shelter. And you know those stories, like they're showing me the Jungle Book, like Mowgli being raised by, was he raised by wolves? Being raised by wolves. So this is kind of you. It's like in that time you were being persecuted, or there was this fear of being persecuted, and your family was going to give you up to the authorities, and so you escaped and sought and found refuge with the wilderness, with the natural world, with the wolves, so to speak. And there's this feeling of being really afraid to speak up, to speak your truth, especially maybe to your family. I think in this life, you might be manifesting as this fear of expressing yourself to people that you love, to your family. And so a part of your witchy revenge in this life is to own your truth, is to move forward with your self-expression, is to be completely true to everything that you are and everything that you want to be without fear. That fear that's holding you back from speaking your truth to your parents, to your family, to your community, to your boss, to your teacher, to your friends, that's stemming from this fear of being persecuted by your family, by your network, by your people that were supposed to love you, and you're re-experiencing that in this life in order to overcome that fear, that limitation, that block. 7 of bows, that's the 7 of wands, and the page of stones, page of pentacles. Clearance, the lynx. Ooh. The lynx looks so sly. Sneaky and sly and very like elegant in the way that they move, very sure, taking, slow but sure steps moving forward, clearing out what no longer serves you with the Seven of Wands, Seven of Bows here, clearing out space, your own space, so that you can be free to be yourself and to achieve the goals that you want to set. So Spirit, in this life, your witchy revenge is clearing house, clearing out family that doesn't see you, doesn't acknowledge your value, or that never did, and feeling okay with it, feeling okay with cutting people off that aren't right for you. You could really struggle with that, feel a lot of guilt and shame around letting go or walking away from toxic people, places, and things that hurt you, because you have this feeling of duty almost to those people. I think that in this life as well, during the Salem or after the Salem witch trials, you managed to escape, narrowly escape, with the help of the natural world and spirit at the time. But animals really, they're showing me Snow White, like animals really became your friends, and you found this refuge in the forest of this village of other people that were very different from you in some way. So you found refuge there, but you carried around a lot of guilt and shame. And you did, in that life, I'm seeing, go and check on your family quite a bit in the shadows, like cloaked and in the shadows, to see what they were doing, how they were doing, if they missed you or didn't miss you. I don't know if you remember from Hook, that movie, the Peter Pan movie Hook, with Dustin Hoffman and Robin Williams, when there's that scene they're showing me where Peter Pan goes back to see his mom, right? Because he was lost as a baby, and the mom had sort of started the family over again. Like he looked in the window and he saw his mom with another kid, a new family, full of joy, as if she didn't miss him. And obviously she would miss him, but that from the outside view, that didn't look that way, and there was a lot of wounding and hurt from that. So that's kind of what's happening here. And then you felt really guilty for leaving. You really internalized that in this life, or in that life, from like 1692 Salem witch trial era. So the 1600s, late 1600s, early 1700s. And so now your role, your job to overcome that, your witchy revenge, is to clear house and be okay with it, to make your moves. Anything else? To create opportunities for yourself as yourself, and being okay with that. If that means cutting people off, family, then that's what you have to do. Friends that you've had for a lifetime, if they're not right for you, if they're holding you back, if they don't see you, truly see you, if they don't listen to you and hear you and really appreciate you and validate you, then maybe they're not right. And it's okay to walk away, to clear house. It's okay. It's more than okay, because that is going to create all kinds of opportunities for you. You've suffered enough for the sake of family, they're saying. One more step forward. Anything else here? Whoa. Oh, just one. That's a lot of cards. Oh, wow. Lots of major arcana here. Taking a sneak peek. What should I do first? I'm saying 4 of vessels. So 4 of cups. 2 of stones. Stop focusing on what you don't have, the family support, and start focusing on what it is that you want, what you do have, with the 2 of stones or 2 of pentacles. Stop focusing on what you don't have, start focusing on what you do have and what you can create and what is possible for you. And if you don't know what's possible for you, Spirit's saying, if you don't know what's possible for you, then look at the sun. Just so much light. You have all this power, mastery. It's almost as if this person, this figure here, has mastered the natural world in a way, with the nature all around here. Freedom, with this horse carving in the mountain over there, this wild horse. You know, you are born what's that song? Baby, I was born to run. You're born to run. You're born to be free. So be free, they're saying. The moon card. So we have the sun, the moon, and then we have number 5 with the Hierophant or the ancestor. Like, you are a great leader, a great spiritual leader. You speak truth. You're very extremely wise, loyal, kind. Like, you have all these amazing qualities in you, and I don't think that you always see that, and it's because your family gave up on you in this life, in that life, during the Salem witch trials. And so your witchy revenge is basically to just clear house, shine your light on the world, set yourself free. And the more free you are, the more that will be your revenge, and to speak your truth. Howl at the moon, speak your truth. You are extremely intuitive and wise and clear when you want to be, when you're not holding on to baggage from the past. So clear house, focus on what you do want, what you can control, what's right for you. Clear out everything else that doesn't fit and set yourself free, and that will be your witchy revenge. I hope this reading was helpful for you today, pile number 2, giving you lots of love and hugs and inner power. Like, let's power each other up. If you like this reading, if it resonated, comment below, give it a thumbs up. Also, just to let you know, I'm offering a 50% off sale on my readings on my Etsy channel. You can go there. I think all of them have the 50% off sale there. So they're all available. And then also I'm offering a $10 micro, like tiny reading via my Facebook channel. So if you want to go there, or Facebook page, sorry. If you want to go there, there's an offer that's posted somewhere there. And you can find the details of how to take advantage of that before. So both of these offers are on from now, or they've started on the February 27th, my birthday, and they're on until March 9th, the day after my daughter's birthday. So we're just celebrating, we're having some fun, and, connecting. So anyway, sending you lots of love. Thanks for being here and supporting my channel. I really appreciate you. And thank you for sharing your energy with me. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, pile number 3, welcome to your reading. Today's reading is your witchy revenge. In 1692, the Salem witch trials began, and you were persecuted. If you're drawn to this reading, then you most likely were, or you were affected by it in some way. And so what is your witchy revenge in this life? How can you heal from that? How can you move forward from that? How can you grow? After experiencing that, your soul might have been stuck because of what was done to you in that life. So let's focus on what you can do to get unstuck in this life. So you chose card number 9, the Wild Hunt, excitement, frenzy, journey. And when I was first shuffling the cards over here for you, what the message that came through was hunting the hunters. So you are now hunting the hunters, or the people that condemned you in that life to a lifetime of slavery and pain and suffering and isolation and all that. I think that a lot of you in this pile were actually murdered in some way, burned at the stake. Unfortunately, very naively. I think that out of all 3 piles here, you are probably the strongest in terms of witchcraft alchemy, or you were using it probably more than any other pile here. Actually doing spell work and incantations and healing. You were actively practicing as a healer. You were very powerful at that time. And older, right? I think at that time, you were probably one of the teachers. If other people were curious about you and interested in learning, you were one of the teachers back then. And there's a sense of grief and guilt about bringing people into witchcraft, so to speak, or alchemy. Not because you didn't believe in it, but because you feel you've taken on this burden of like helping the persecutors persecute the witches. You know what I mean? And not because you helped them, but because you brought them into this world, or you helped to teach them and help them develop their skills and stuff. And so you've been carrying around some guilt and shame about that. But I think Spirit wants you to know that, and this is just pure channeling. I pulled one card. Okay, I'll just get 5 of Bows, which is the 5 of Wands, empowerment. So this is the 5 of Wands, 5 of Bows. So there's just a lot of challenges with other people. I think that you tried to do some protection spells. Maybe you do that now. You do a lot of protection spells on yourself, but maybe you always feel a little bit Spirit saying unclean, but I'm also going to say unsafe, unsavory almost, like there's something really wrong with you in this life. Like you feel like there's something wrong with you, but it's not that there's anything wrong with you. It's that you were made to believe that there was something wrong with you, that you sacrificed. It's like you sacrificed people, and you were made to be the is martyr the right word? No. The scapegoat for all of the witches, you know? It's your fault. They all came to you, so it's your fault, kind of a thing. And so there's something about you weren't just burned at the stake. Something else really sickening happened to you. I think that maybe there was some, like there was some sort of sexual violence that happened a lot to you, like taking away your power in that way. Like the energy is not good. They really made you feel powerless. It wasn't just about imprisoning you and burning you at the stake. This was about humiliating you. They wanted to humiliate you in that life, and they did. And so now I'm seeing like Katniss Everdeen from, what was that series? Anyway, she, taking out her revenge. Like now, okay, you're gonna do this to me. I'm gonna come and cancel you out one at a time. Like cancel culture, but very specific and targeted at these certain people that demonized you and humiliated you in front of a crowd. Like this feeling is so overwhelmingly sickening. I feel I'm so sorry that you went through that in that life. Like it's heart-wrenching, actually. It's very hard to sit with. And so I can't even imagine how that's affected you in this life and other lives leading up to this point right now. This came out again, this in the last pile, I think, 14, balance, temperance. Seeking balance. But it's not just, because this card can also be about patience. It's like you're patiently, look at this, in this figure, this carving of the masculine energy in the hill. It's obviously very masculine energy there. But it's like you're patiently waiting to seek your revenge. 7 of Stones, healing. So it's 7 of Pentacles. Yeah. Like patiently waiting to get your revenge and then sacrificing that person on this sort of altar. Right? It's like seeking balance, the light and the dark. It's like you might be this warrior seeking balance through sacrificing these dark energies. If that makes sense. I don't know how to better describe it. But I think Spirit's saying yes. So we have a 9 of Vessels with generosity, 9 of Cups, 8 of Stones, it's 8 of Pentacles with skills, and then we have the 9 of Stones there with tradition, 9 of Pentacles, wish fulfillment, 2 9s. Ugh. You've been doing a lot of healing work. Your witchy revenge in this life is your own internal healing work. and mastering a certain skill set, a certain trade perhaps, that's going to like sharpening. They're showing me like someone's sharpening their sword and patiently waiting for revenge, and that you're going to get it with the 9 of Pentacles there. You have the Guardian 15 with the Devil energy, the Guardian at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. Be careful to stay in the light. Be careful not to get caught up in the shadows of this. Make sure that your intentions are pure. There might be a specific group that you're targeting, right? If you're very into feminism, then you might be targeting the patriarchy. If you're into grassroots organizations, you could be very into battling the government, politicians, right? Think of the opposite. You're sort of doing something in this life to overtake, or change policy, or make some changes, and that's what your revenge is. And you're sharpening your tools to be able to do that. You're very smart. You're also good at biding your time, waiting for somebody else to make a mistake so that you can capitalize on their errors, so you can prove that they are wrong. You're very good at that. People don't like that. They hate that about you. It's like you hold on to old emails, and when somebody says something wrong, you're like, no, you pull up the old email and say, look, this is what I said on this date, and you said this on that date, and here you go. Now you failed to, finalize this offer or do what you said you're going to do. You stand by your word also in this life. You're very strong. You stand by your word means something to you, and when other people don't do it, it really bothers you. 6 of Arrows. I would caution about getting stuck in this, needing to prove, needing to fight, needing to bring things down. And as much as it is necessary, I think, to change the world, to still change perspectives on whatever it is that you do, right? This can be applied in so many different ways, depending on what your passion is, what your focus, what your soul really wants to focus on shifting and changing, the paradigm shift that you're a part of in this life, but right now. But you are a big part of that paradigm shift actually taking place. You are a big part of whatever movement that it is that you're in. But I would caution about like your motivations, your intentions, right? Making sure that they are pure, and making sure you don't get caught up in this toxic masculinity energy of needing to prove something, of needing to force things to happen. When you put the truth out there, the truth will set you free. The truth just has this funny way of coming out in its own time, in its own way, and you are here to kind of initiate that truth, to help put it out into the world. But hold on one sec, I have to fix that. Why does this happen? There. You're here to kind of initiate that truth. But you don't have to force it, right? You just have to kind of put it out there and let it do its job. Yeah, King of Vessels in reverse. I'm going to put that here. You have to, with intentions. You have to be careful about your intentions and your motivations. Making sure that to constantly just come back to yourself, making sure that you're taking care of your own needs, your own well-being, while you're doing this mission. It's very important. It can be very easy to get caught up in the addiction, the emotional addiction of giving people a taste of their own energy. You could get really caught in that, and have the sweet victory, the sweet taste of victory, or humiliating some other people and feeling good about humiliating them. That's not the point. You don't want to do what was done to you to other people. You do want revenge and you do want balance, but it's important to not let the darkness of that overtake you. So seeking balance is the most important thing. How can they not get caught up in this? What's your advice, Spirit? In because I can feel, I know what you went through. I can see it, I can feel it, taste it, hear it. It's horrible. So horrible. There's some purging definitely that needs to happen as well. deconditioning, healing work, spending some time away from other people, like really focusing on grounding and empowering yourself, feeling your own self-worth, because you could easily get the taste of for blood and like go after it a little to the extreme, right? Where it's no longer seeking balance and you're just stepping into the other side of imbalance, making like a 360 back to where you started kind of thing. So what's one more piece of advice for pile number 3? Because I get what they want to do and I get that it's necessary, but at the same time, how do they stay in their power, their righteous power? Four of Vessels, focus on gratitude, focus on what you do have. Four of Cups, focus on what you do have. Focus on the good in yourself and around you. That'll keep you grounded. It'll keep you focused. It'll keep you pure of heart. Yeah, with the Two of Vessels here, Two of Cups, Queen of Vessels. Focus on working with spirit with the Two of Vessels here. Working with a partner maybe, but working with spirit. Honoring yourself, keeping yourself grounded and nurturing, right? Focus on your heart. Focus on love, moving forward with love and grace. And the Moon card, being very intuitive and selective about your approach. And also knowing, I think there's this need for you to really know and understand that there are the shadow aspects of this, that you did go through something very just dark, very sickening, actually. You did go through something like that, and that is a part of you. And I think that there's also this need to integrate with that shadow and love that shadow for what it went through, what it's been doing because of it, to honor it, to nurture it, and to a certain extent express it, right? Own your truth, express your truth, but not be overcome by that truth because it was so dark and destabilizing for centuries. Like, it's really affected you for a long time. So working with spirit, making sure to ask spirit to help you keep your intentions and your motivations and your actions pure, while at the same time going for blood, right? To the people, organizations, systems that oppressed you and are oppressing people today. Because you're very noble in your efforts, but it's easy to go too far to the other side, right? To allow the shadows to take over. So there's a way to work with your shadows, but then there's also a way, the candle just went out. So that's it. I'm going to leave it right there for you, pile number 3. Thank you for watching. Big hugs, big love. What you went through is not fair. It's not right. But you're healing from it. And this life, you're really going to do some great things for the world. Just keep balanced. Keep your balance, right? Patience, balance, patience, self-love, self-care is really important. Working with spirit, keeping your intentions, your motivations pure. If you like this reading, give it a thumbs up, comment below, let me know what you thought. And also, I'm offering a 50% off of personal readings in my Etsy shop right now until March 9th. And also on Facebook, I posted some instructions if you want to take advantage of I'm doing a micro tarot reading deal for $10 Canadian, $10 CAD if you're interested. You can take advantage of that offer, but the details for that are on Facebook, on my Facebook page, and the link for that is also in the description box below. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And don't ever stop sharing your witchy gifts with the world. See you soon. Bye.